Welcome back. We are on the quest for firewood today. Glistening. Look at that. We got a nice little spot that I'm hoping to get to. It's got a bunch of trees that we're after. The only thing that stands in our way is right here. Now I do have to be mindful of where I'm driving, because right now it's still early in the morning. Everything's froze up, but throughout the day it's supposed to get pretty warm. And I've gotten myself into this trouble before where I make it in the morning, during the day everything thaws out, and then when I try to leave in the evening I get stuck because the ground's thawed. So we got a few water holes here. Hopefully I can get through them. Again, this is still all clay bottom with lots of rocks, so as long as I can avoid getting stuck in a rut and high-centered or something, I should be fine. The ground's feeling not too bad. It doesn't feel frozen. So I'm thinking that I should be good to get on out of here without too much struggle, but this is the exact area that I wanted to be in, because today we are actually going after birch trees. These bad boys right here. So, first off, welcome back everyone. Thanks for joining me. I apologize for the lack of videos lately. It's been, I don't even know, I think 3 weeks now since my last video. I kind of took an unplanned break from filming. A few different things happened all at the same time, so kind of, yeah, prevented me from getting out. First off, the last time I was out at the cabin, we finished up the workbench in the cabin. Went back home, and I'd planned to be home for a few days there. And then we had a big snowstorm, actually. We got about between 1.5 feet and 2 feet of snow over the course of 2 days, and it was bad. The road conditions were terrible. There was multi-vehicle pileups all over the place, so I decided to say forget it. I was going to wait to go back out until the roads got better. And then the last of the documents that I needed to finish up getting my taxes ready finally came in, so it's dreaded tax season here. So I took a few more days back at home to get all my tax stuff finished up and sent off to my accountant. And then, I don't know what happened, but I injured myself somehow, and it really hurt my hip, actually. So, what am I doing here? That's gotta go like that. So yeah, I was staying at home, seeing if my hip was gonna get better, and then it didn't. I didn't really take it very easy back at home though. So after a few days of my hip still hurting me a lot, like I was hobbling around pretty good. It was kind of embarrassing, and I don't even know what happened. But after a few days of being back around home, now I got a lot of stuff done around home. I was kind of working on all the chores that I'd been putting off and all the spring cleanup and stuff. So I'd spent so much time out in the bush over the course of the winter. There was a lot of things that just piled up on top of each other that I hadn't got around to. So I was able to get a lot of that stuff done. But after a few days of doing all this stuff and not healing, I decided, okay, it's time for some bed rest. So I think I took 3 or maybe 4 days of just straight bed rest, not doing anything. And thankfully I'm back to normal now. Actually, last night I went out for a quick little 5K run, and body held up good. So I think I'm back to normal, which is really good. So I'm starting to go a little crazy not being able to do anything. But that's kind of the gist of things, why I've been away for a bit, which I apologize for. I never intended to be gone for weeks like this, but that's life, I suppose. It happens. So today we're getting birch firewood. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually getting firewood for my parents. My mom and dad, they burn wood throughout the winter to heat their home. And usually in the fall, my dad and I get out and we get a few loads of wood for him each year. They cut, the birch is kind of a finicky wood. We usually cut it green because finding dead standing, dry birch it's not really a thing. It just rots so quick when it dies that really the only option is to cut it green, which is fine, but then you have to let it dry out for a couple years. So with them, they need to cut their wood 2 years in advance. And this past season, we didn't actually get out and do any firewood for my dad. He was really busy over the summer. And over the summer, I got myself a few loads of firewood. Yeah, in the fall, we got into other things so fast that we didn't end up making time for it. So this year, I'm going to try and help him out and get a few loads of firewood for him. I'm going over to my parents' place tomorrow. It's Good Friday today. Happy Easter, everyone, by the way. Good Friday today. Tomorrow I'm going over to my parents' place for Easter supper with the family, which I'm really excited for. And I thought I would just bring them a load of firewood since I got the time and I wasn't doing anything today, so I might as well get out, get some outdoors time, put the body to work, and have some fun in the bush running the saw. So you can see there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of birch trees down here. The nice part about getting birch trees this time of the year is that the ground's still frozen, which means the trees haven't started to bring up moisture to begin growth. So if I cut the wood now, we're going to cut it and split it today, and this will sit out all summer. And by the time it comes for the next burning season in the fall, late fall, early winter, this wood should be dry seasoned and ready for burning. We're going to do a bit of a selective harvest today. We're not going to just clear cut from a whole or from one section of trees here. We're going to kind of pick through them and pick the ones that look like they're going to be unable to survive. Like, a good example are these two trees that are side by side. This one on the right here, you can see it's got all the fine little twigs and branches, and that tree is still alive. Whereas this one right beside it, you can see how all the branches are broken off. It's dead. And these trees rot so fast, I guarantee you if I cut this down, it's going to be rotten. You can almost hear the sound difference between the dead tree and the living one. Easy peasy. First tree is cut up. Now these birch in this area, they don't grow very big. Like this one that I just cut, maybe at the stump. On the widest part, it's maybe 16 inches, probably 14. That's about as big as they get here, so it does take quite a few trees to fill up a truck, but it's great wood for burning, that's for certain. So I think I'm just going to do this systematically. We'll cut down a tree, buck it up, and then I'll split the bigger rounds, get them loaded up, and then we'll move on to the next tree. That way I can keep a close eye on how much wood I have and make sure I'm not cutting more than I need. Using this axe here, I believe this is a 3-pounder. It has a 3 on it. I don't know for sure. I've never had it off of the handle. Bought this one a few years back. The half job isn't great. It's got some gap in it on the top and the bottom. But head's still solid, so I'll keep swinging it. It's a nice little axe. It's got a decent little profile there. Decent little splitter, so haven't swung it in a while, so figured I'd bring it out. Try and whack it through some of this birch. Birch can be tricky to split because it is a rather fibrous and stringy wood. But I typically find it's not all too terrible. I think I am going to leave some bigger pieces like this. My parents like the occasional big log for a nice all-night burn. So I was actually out at the cabin this past week. Went out for 3 days, but it was so windy I couldn't get any filming done. I would set my camera up, walk out in front of it to do something, turn around, and my camera and tripod would be laying on the ground. It was brutal. Some of those big trees around the cabin, I was getting pretty worried that they were going to uproot and topple over. Nothing that threatens the cabin anymore, but it's still a scary thought. So stayed out there for 3 days and messed around a little bit with my chainsaw and some milling. I brought the actual chainsaw mill out there, the Alaskan mill, so we're going to be showing that right away. But because of the wind, because it was so bad, I wasn't able to get any filming done. Whew. There we go. But yeah, it was nice to be back out at the cabin since I'd been gone for a couple weeks. But I was unfortunate that I couldn't really get any filming done, and everything that I did film, it was just so muffled by the wind that anytime I was talking, you couldn't even hear what I was saying. And all in all, I just wasn't happy with the footage, so I just decided to scrap it. It wasn't anything too great anyways, so yeah, I felt quite bad actually not going out in the fall and getting my dad some wood. But man, did the fall come quick. We had lots to get done out at the cabin before winter season rolled in. I'm gonna try the 4-pounder. So there we go. We're gonna move to the 4-pounder here. Profile is a bit different there, hey? Yeah. We'll give it a try, see what it does. Woo! You see that, how it just bounces off? Like that. Doesn't even try to stick in. That's kind of what you want, I guess, hey? Whew, stubborn piece of wood though. All these weird little knots and twists. What do we got going on here? It's kind of a interesting little piece of wood. So we got just that outer portion. Geez, that'd be nice for a piece of wood to carve, hey? That natural bend. Can make a really nice long-handled spoon or a ladle perhaps out of that. Might be one to throw into my collection. Carve something out of it while it's still green and soft. Oh, look at that, eh? Wow, that's very interesting. I wonder if I could zip that right down the middle there. Oh yeah. Beauty. Wow. That's a stubborn one. Look at that. Whew. All right, the rest of this should be fairly smooth going. It's all straight grain. Shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. So I hope you're all doing well. I appreciate everyone that's been making purchases from the website. We still got lots of stuff left there for those that are interested in supporting the channel. We're going to be having some new products coming out soon too, and I'm excited to share with you. I'm doing some product testing today actually with something we're going to be selling, and hopefully soon actually. I just gotta basically get my product testing done and make any changes necessary, and then we'll be set for action. So I'm excited for what the future holds for the channel. Yeah, this straight grain stuff, it pops apart like nothing. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful wood? And the smell, oh, the smell of birch when it's fresh and green like this, and also when it's dry, it smells so good, and when it burns, just an excellent wood. I think birch is probably my favorite wood, and it's great for wood carving too. It's about the hardest wood that we have here, but it is one of my favorites. One thing that I have been without for too long in my firewood arsenal has been my pickaroon. I bought this, I think 2 years ago, and it just had a short little handle on it. And I wanted something longer, so I put a different handle on it, took it out to the field. First time I used it, it broke. And then I was too cheap to buy a handle from the store for it. But this handle is actually from the double bit axe from the cabin. If you remember, I removed the head from that handle, and I was able to salvage that handle and put my pickaroon on there. Got it seated on there really nice, wedged in tight. So I'm excited to start using this again. And the key advantage with this is that I can get my wood without having to bend over, because when you got all your firewood on the ground, you need to load it into your truck. Every piece you're bending over, grabbing it, tossing it. With pickaroon, I can just simply grab it and then chuck it into my truck. Now there is a bit of a technique to use one of these in order to get it to release right, but if you practice, you'll get the hang of it. So there we go. I don't know how high I'll go with these rows. Probably not too much higher than the side of the box, but basically it's going to be a tree per row and a half, kinda, which means I'll probably have to take maybe 2 or 3 more trees. That kind of sucks when that happens. The whole top of this tree is rotten. Right here it starts to clean up a bit. So from here to the stump will be good. We'll get, I don't know, maybe a dozen or so rounds out of this one tree, but Not a lot of firewood, that's for sure. That's why the birch trees in this area don't get very big, because once they get to be 8, 10, 12 inches at the stump, they just start to rot and die. So there really isn't anything too big around here, but just means you gotta cut a few more trees, but that's okay. It's a beautiful day and we're having fun. Well, that's it from that tree. Certainly not much at all. Pretty much a nothing tree, but we got some good ones in here. That's pretty cool. Starting to get a bit of wood built up now. Got a nice little stack around there, some over there, some here, some there, kind of scattered all over the place. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to fill up the back of my truck completely, but might as well start splitting this stuff and we'll see how far I can get. Three full rows so far, maybe about, I don't know, a third of the fourth row. I can only do 5 rows. This wood's cut to 16 inches, so I lose enough room to get a 6th row in here, but I think 5 rows will be plenty a lot. My truck's already sitting pretty low. I think she'll be able to handle the rest of this row, one more, and I'm hoping that with the wood that I got here and there, I should be able to get it filled up. I must admit, I'm nervous about making the journey back out to the main road. The ground is softened up a lot. So this was a total of 5 trees that I cut. I'm glad I didn't do any more than that, because looking at it, I don't think I'm going to have room for any more, and my truck is starting to sit pretty low. There's a lot of weight in there. So I think 5 is the magic number. So we did not too bad. We got ourselves a nice 5 full rows of wood, and that's probably about as much as I can fit in there. This truck is sitting pretty low, so I wouldn't risk any more weight. Got everything loaded up. Now it's time for the fun part, trying to get out of here. It is mucky. I'm very, very nervous. Well, that certainly makes me nervous. This ground is very soft compared to what it was this morning. Oh boy. Whew, I think that was the worst of it. Let's hope this isn't too soft. Oh yeah. There we go. Nice. Uh-oh. We're spinning. Back up and try a different way, I guess. Whew. My poor truck. I'm so sorry. Well, we did it. We made it back to the main road in one piece. Didn't get stuck. Whew. That was nerve-wracking, for certain. Truck got a bit dirty. Tires are caked in mud, but got our load of wood. We are hitting the highway. Another adventure out here in the bush. It's never a dull day. I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you soon in the next one. We're going to be back to regular scheduled videos right away. I hope you all have a excellent Easter weekend. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. I'll see you soon. Until then, God bless and stay wild.